Your name, your age, and your occupation.
Last name too?
Sure.
Chrissy Sarnowsky. I'm 54 years old. I'm from the south side of Chicago, and I'm a lieutenant on the Chicago Fire Department.
So, have you always been a firefighter? How'd you find your way into that?
That's a great story, actually. Well, I was young. I dropped out of high school, got my GED, was working in an office, and a girlfriend started dating a paramedic, and she goes, "We should go to paramedic school." And I was like, all right, it was 19 at the time. And so I went to EMT school and paramedic school, and by the time I was 21, I was a paramedic, and at that point, everybody that I went to paramedic school wanted to be on the Chicago Fire Department. So I was like, well, then I want to be on the Chicago Fire Department. So I was a paramedic for 6 years on the fire department. Then I became a firefighter. I crossed over and I became a firefighter paramedic on the engine, and I just recently got promoted to lieutenant.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have 26 years on this year.
Wow. So, yeah, what is it about the job? I mean, obviously, it's something that we all greatly appreciate, but you're quite literally throwing yourself into the line of fire on a daily basis.
When that girl called me and we started going to our clinicals, we had a motorcycle accident, and the guy was degloved. His skin was falling off.
Oh, my God.
And she ran out puking, and I ran in and thought, wow, this is the coolest thing. So I learned that I really love, and I love helping people, you know, so, and to this day, so I've been a paramedic for 33 years, and I always said from day one, if I lose the compassion for people, I don't want to do this anymore, and I still have the compassion. I still treat everybody like they're my family member.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. So then, what made you decide to throw yourself into the raging inferno that is Survivor?
I've been watching it. So they came out when I was 30. So I was a little older than these younger kids here that probably weren't even born when it started. And I used to watch it with my mom all the time. And now we call each other after each show, and I tape it. And so I came home one day and I was laying on the couch, and Jeff Probst was on this beautiful beach with his arms out saying, "You should apply." And I'm like, I should apply. And so I applied, and there you go. Next thing you know, here I am talking to you.
That's amazing. Is there a story you fed to like the people back at the firehouse as to what you were doing for the next month or so?
No, I had to tell my boss, so my boss knows. But no, nobody. I just said I'm taking vacation. I took my vacation time.
Okay,
so,
yes, accrued it all to
yes, exactly.
be far from a vacation here, even though it's beautiful.
I know, it's not a vacation.
So then, if I were to ask you to give me a winner and a non-winner who you identify with the most, personally, strategically, socially, who would that be?
Well, I can go non-winner. I love Carolyn, and I'm sure a lot of people, I don't know, maybe I just relate to her. I relate to her storyline that she was, an ex-user and cleaned herself up, and she seemed street smart, grew up, harder, which I did too, so, and unapologetic herself, so I really liked her. Winner, I'm terrible with names.
That's okay. Describe. I can fill in the blank here.
Well, I liked same season, Yaya. I liked when he told everybody, and I tried to, I didn't go back and watch seasons because I don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. But he did relate to people where Carolyn didn't, and he said, I looked at you and I knew when you talked about your family how your eyes lit up, and when you lied, how your eyes didn't light up, and I thought, wow, what a great, perception of watching people, so I really thought that won him the $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite moment in Survivor history? Is it around season 44, as you were mentioning?
Well, yeah, only because I'm old and I have a terrible memory. Well, I like the earlier seasons, even though I don't remember them, but because Survivor was so new.
Right.
And now, and I hate to say this, I don't like super fans. I don't think super fans make the game better. I don't think people practicing in their basement makes this game better. I think coming out and challenging yourself and not knowing what to expect, then knowing that puzzle's going to be on here and I can do it with my eyes closed,
right.
It's sort of cheating to me. I don't know.
Interesting. So would you have a favorite moment from a modern season, from a recent season that you saw?
Not that I can think of. I like all the moments. I think they're all really, really. I mean, to me, it's taking 18 strangers. It's like an experience, a weird scientific experiment. That they take 18 people, strangers from all different places of the world, and throw them on an island and starve them to death and make them do these challenges to earn food, to earn stuff, and see what happens. And nobody can predict what can happen. It's like putting 18 mice in a cage, and seeing who's going to be the lead mice, So I don't know. It's a great experiment, and I can't wait to see what happens.
So then, how have you put yourself in, fighting shape for this experiment? What has your prep experience been like? Because obviously you keep yourself busy in your day to day. Did you do anything in particular to prep for Survivor?
I did not.
Wow.
I know.
Well, I think you got the fire aspect covered pretty well.
Yeah. Well, my job prepares me for this.
Exactly.
Like I crawl in buildings with 65 pounds of my tank and everything. It's 65 pounds. So crawling under a net in mud without 65 pounds, I think should be a piece of cake. I'm hoping. I don't know.
That's true, and it's also a pretty good track record for firefighters on Survivor as well.
Yes.
And maybe to your point, it is that sort of like work ethic, physicality perspective.
Yes, for sure.
What would you say is your biggest superpower and your biggest piece of kryptonite that you think will play into this game?
Well, I think my biggest superpower is my way to connect with people. I think I can go in a washroom and wash my hands and come out and be like, bye, Jill, nice talking to you. Like, I'm just one of those people that I could talk to anybody and just have this demeanor where I can connect with people. So I think I'm hoping I can connect with some of these people, but yet stab them in the back in the end,
Yeah, of course.
Which is the best part of it. And they're going to stand me in the back, which that's what I like about this. Like, we could be friends, but we know only one person comes out this winner. So
exactly,
you can't go out, like last year they were saying with terrible with names. The girl and the guy, she didn't vote for her friend. Well,
Oh yeah, Maria and Charlie.
Yeah, well, it's a game. Like it's just the way it is. And then your
kryptonite. What do you think is your weakest part of yourself when it comes to maybe playing this game?
Well, it might also be the same thing. I might talk too much. I might like Carolyn, unapologetically myself,
Right.
and somebody asked me, am I going to hide anything? No, I'm not going to hide anything. I'm an open book, and sometimes that's not a good thing to be an open book. So, but I got to remember I'm here playing a game, and they don't need to know everything. So I don't know. It all depends on who I'm sitting around and who I'm talking to. You got to read the room.
What do you think you're going to be perceived as from that perspective?
Well, I already know I'm the older person, which when they're like, you're the older, and I'm like, I never felt like the older person, but I guess I am the older person looking at these young kids. I've been delivering babies longer than they've been born. Literally 33 years. So dealing with the younger generation, but then being a lieutenant on the fire department, all my kids all the kids I'm training are this age too.
Yeah.
So I know how to look at weaknesses and strong points of people and try to play on that.
Is that something you're going to try to steer into though, when it comes to like, oh, you're going to be in the leadership role because you're a lieutenant?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that sometimes gets you in trouble trying to be a leader. So more or less, maybe an Auntie Chrissy. I wouldn't mind an Auntie Chrissy, somebody like the cool aunt, maybe.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone loves their aunt.
Yes, exactly.
What would you say is one life experience that has most prepared you for this? Is it as simple as your day-to-day, or can you think of like one specific experience you had that you feel has prepared you for Survivor as much as you can?
I would definitely say it's a no-brainer, my job.
Yeah.
We sometimes we travel to different firehouses and I work with different firemen, and so I walk in not knowing these people, and within 24 hours, 5 minutes into it, we might have a fire together, and now we're saving lives together that I just met you 5 minutes ago. So you need to know, can this person have my back? And is this person not going to have my back? It's the same thing here. Is this person going to have my back? Are they not going to have my back? So it's not life and death, though, thank God.
Well, let's talk about maybe some of those people that you might, be running in or away from, because I'm sure you've been, sussing out some people as you've been sitting around not being able to talk. So let's
I have little nicknames for them all already in my head.
I would love to hear some. So let's go to the positive side of things.
Okay.
First, give me some. Describe to me some of these people and maybe their nicknames that like you're vibing with. That best case scenario, you hit the beach day one. This is someone I could ride to the end of the game with.
Right. Well, I like bearded guy. Mm-hmm. He's got a big old fluffy beard, and I can't wait to see like what his beard looks like. 2 weeks from now. So I like him. And then There's an African American guy with glasses. He's got a friendly smile. There's something about him that just draws me to him.
Are you seeking out any like particular qualities in a number one ally in general?
Well, once I get my tribe and I see who's there, I mean, this is all just by looking at people.
Exactly.
Once they open their mouth, I might be like, oh, I was way off. So it all depends on how they are in challenge, how I am in challenge. I've had the biggest fear, and I crawl through buildings with, like I said, 65 pounds on my back, and I do it, and I'm like, oh my God, I just need to get that first challenge off and done, and then I think I'll feel a lot better.
So then, on the other side of things, is there anybody that you're not picking up some great vibes from, or anyone you can't read from this group?
And I hate that this is going to be, because they're going to see it and they're going to be like,
but that's the fun of it. It could be your best friend.
Well, there's a girl, a blonde girl here, and she just sees a little snooty to me. That's all. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Anything that she's like doing that comes across that way, or is it just a general air about her?
No, I think I said, like, you're not supposed to talk, and I think, oh, she jumped, and I go, ooh, don't hurt yourself. And she goes, shh, and she shushed me. And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, she just shushed me, you know? So that just right away. And that's the funny thing about Survivor. It takes one shush, and now I'm going to vote your ass off. You know, it's that stupid and simple, you know? Like.
So, obviously, the new era is all about, like, idols, advantages, journeys. It's part of the DNA. How much do you want to incorporate that into your own game?
Well, as I'm walking through here, I'm like, where would an idol be hidden? It's so exciting to just look at little nooks and crannies. I can't wait to look for idols. But then again, it's not just an idol anymore. It's beware, you have to do this, this, and this, and
exactly.
then you lose your vote. And it's like, so you really got to be careful. It's really a mind. You can say it. Absolutely. Mind fuck. It's a mind fuck.
So then, that being said, if you find one, like, is it an immediate pick up and unwrap it for you?
For sure. Yes. You'd be an idiot to throw it away, I think.
What about like a boat showing up for a journey? Are you someone to volunteer?
No, I think I'll play the crowd on that one too. You know, like see who, what I like the tribes that go rock, paper, scissors, you know, stuff like that. So make it even, you know.
The past two seasons of Survivor, 45 and 46, in this sense, have felt like such a big step forward, and so much stuff has happened. As you're watching through these seasons, is there anything in particular you're, like, taking away from those types of seasons that you're going to incorporate into your own game?
Well, just from what I notice, I think alliances are the way to go. You know, and they might not last, and you make different alliances, but I think always trying to make that connection with somebody, even if it only lasts one vote, and then you make it a connection with somebody else. You know, I think that seems to be the way to go. But then as you watch some of the outsiders, when they're outsiders, they get the deciding vote. So it's a crazy, crazy game.
So that's the thing we saw in 46 was that there was this group that was kind of like discarded,
losing.
And they then became the ones that got to determine which way to go. So it really speaks to not disregarding anybody in the game.
Yes, for sure.
So when it comes to Survivor opinions, hot takes, if you will, you're one who can handle heat, certainly. What would you say is your hottest Survivor take, your most controversial opinion about a season, a player, the show itself?
Well, I don't know if it was last season or the season before, the two people that quit, I was disgusted. I was like, knowing the process that we have to do to get here, you never watched the show, you didn't think you were going to be uncomfortable, you know, like to be like, I miss my bed, I want to go home. You know, it to me just was, terrible.
I'm going to throw a weird scenario by you. If you could bring a celebrity or a fictional character out as a loved one for a loved one's visit, who would it be and why?
A celebrity
or a fictional character, yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a good question.
Thank you, yeah. Just cannot be a member of your family. That's the only caveat.
I couldn't bring my son, because that would be awesome. Let me think of a celebrity.
No.
Well, I would say, like, Chris Hemsworth, Thor.
Now, would it be him as Thor or just Chris Hemsworth?
Either way, I would take either one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he could be someone that fits in with all the other heartthrobs, right? All the other big guys.
Exactly.
Any particular reason why?
Just because he's big and strong and nice to look at. I don't know. I couldn't think of anybody.
That's so fun. Last thing I want to ask is that, obviously, Survivor 50 is right around the corner. We know it's returnees. How are you going to make your mark on this season so that we're going to be talking a year from now for Survivor 50?
I don't know if I am. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm hoping that I stand out. I'm hoping that I play a great game. I would be highly disappointed in myself. I work with 5,000 firefighters at home. There's no way I can walk through that door at any firehouse coming back, a loser. So I have a lot of pressure on my back to represent the city of Chicago. So
that's true as well. You don't just have the firefighters. You have like the entire city of Chicago at your back as well. Well, they're gonna dye the river green, right? Not just for St. Patrick's Day, but for all the money you're gonna win from the show.
There you go.